What's going on, you guys? My name is Queerphorexia, and welcome to the congregation, my Yarglings. Today, we're going to be talking about my personal 5 picks for the best Duel Commander decks in the current meta. Um, I love the Duel Commander format, and I think it is very strategic, very competitive, and I think you'll like it too. So if you want to see more Duel Commander content, be sure to subscribe and like the video, and check out some of my other videos. We got some gameplay stuff going on recently, so yeah. That being said, let's get into the list. Bringing us in at number 5, we have Kinnan, Bonder Prodigy. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. You can also pay 5 and Simic to look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So with Kinnan, this is a combo deck. It is going to be play mana rocks to hopefully get Kinnan out by turn 2 at the slowest. Hopefully, you want to be able to get Kinnan out on turn 1. And basically, what you're going to do after that is you're going to start spinning Kinnan's wheels to hit things like Primetime, Big Leviathans, Eldrazi, or your combo pieces. And that's why this deck is so strong, because Kinnan is only 2 mana and doubles any of your mana produced outside of lands. So that means all of your mana dorks, your mana rocks, and things like that are getting doubled up, so you can get big mana real big fast. And at number 4, we have Rafine Scheming Seer. So Rafine reads Flying Ward 1 for Esper, I might add, just for Esper. With that, that's sick. It's a 1/4. And whenever you attack, target attacking creature connives X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. This deck is very sick. It is Esper. It's crazy aggressive, and it's easy to protect because you're an Esper, right? So, I don't know what WotC's been thinking recently with giving all these Sphinxes Ward 1, Ward 2, and them just having an absolutely absurd effect, but it is nuts. You're running lots of little guys to flood the board early and take advantage of those connive triggers with Rafine. Being an Esper, you have a lot of access to tempo magic, so it packs a lot of counterspells, removal, and exile, and if you think that was it, you're wrong, because you get access to 2 of the best planeswalkers in the meta, the Wandering Emperor and 3 Fairy. And at number 3, we have our first non-blue deck. We have Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. For Rakdos, it is a 6/6, and when Kroxa enters the battlefield, sacrifice it unless it was escaped. Whenever Kroxa enters the battlefield or attacks, each opponent discards a card, then each opponent who didn't discard a non-land card this way loses 3 life. Escape for black, black, red, red. So this is a control deck. We are playing cards that keep your opponent's boards and hands empty, so lots of hand hate, lots of creature removal, and, just lots of Rakdos stacks pieces. And when I say stacks pieces, I just mean like hate pieces, because you really want your opponent to regret playing this match with you. The deck is nasty, but in the best way, and it's one of my personal favorites on this list. And the number 2 slot is a deck I absolutely despise. I want this card banned so bad, but I know it's not going to get banned, even though it keeps getting support. It needs no more support, but since Commander has come to exist, WotC loves printing Commander cards, which means legendaries, and that means Yoshimaru is going to continue getting pieces. Yoshimaru reads, whenever another legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yoshimaru, ever faithful. Yes, so for 1 white, it's a 1/1, and it has partner. So you can literally partner this dog with anything, and you have a very good deck, essentially. The most popular that I've seen is partnered with Tana, the Bloodsower, but with Duel's Commander rules, you're not really ever going to see Tana. You're just getting the access to being in white, green, red. And yeah, this card is so much insane value. It's very strong, and it really it's, as you've seen in the first video I posted gameplay wise on my channel, it's a strong deck, and that's why it is coming in at number 2. And last but not least, coming in at number 1, so that's not really even last, it is the best deck on this list in my opinion. It is Aragorn, King of Gondor, for one in Jeskai. He is a 4/4 human noble with vigilance and lifelink, and reads, when Aragorn, King of Gondor, enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Whenever Aragorn attacks, up to one target creature can't block this turn. If you're the monarch, creatures can't block this turn. This is another control deck, but with the upside of Aragorn really being the only creature you need in the deck to be able to swing. So, like, you're playing a lot of control pieces, lots of counter spells, lots of white and red removal, burn spells, exiles. You're just playing a very big control list, and you're having, like, obviously impactful creatures like Snapcaster and any of the creatures that are flashing on the screen right now. But this is, yeah, it's just guy control with the most busted commander card printed for it ever. I have a feeling this card's going to get banned, as if you go into the Duel Commander Discord server, a lot of people are not happy about this card because it is number one-ing a lot of tournaments, and it is almost unbeatable. It is just a very powerful card in a very strong deck. And before we close, I want to bring forth a few honorable mentions for this deck, specifically 2 decks in total. Number 1 being a deck you've seen me play before, Beamtown Bullies, which is a Jund mid-range deck that plays just well into any situation, in my opinion. I didn't pilot it well this season in my shop's Duel Commander League, but it is a very strong deck. You have the option to aggro out very early. You can survive in the mid game longer than a lot of decks, and you have leveler combo. Obviously, in a 1v1 format, leveler combo is just so broken. It is like, if you don't have Graveyard Hate, you just die. And the other deck I wanted to talk about was Atraxa, Grand Unifier, and Tivit, Scholar of Secrets. So both of these decks, it's either Esper control or Witchmaw control, and it's just it's like we just talked about with Aragorn. It is 2 very powerful control decks with very powerful commanders, with Tivit getting you insane value when you cast and when you attack, and Atraxa letting you look at 10 cards and potentially draw up to 7 cards when you cast is insane. Not to mention it's a 7/7 with lifelink, death touch, first strike, not first strike, vigilance, and something I can't remember right off the top of my head. But Atraxa is like it. Obviously, I have a sweet spot for Atraxa. She is my baby. I love Atraxa so much. But Tivit is also a really good deck, and you eliminate 1 color with going down into Esper. And honestly, in Atraxa, even Esper's, or you're mainly playing an Esper deck. So, like, yeah, they're both insanely strong decks. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe feel inspired to build a Duel Commander deck. Like I said, I am forever going to be putting out Duel Commander content for the foreseeable future. And if you want to talk more about Duel Commander, you can slide and talk to me on Twitter or join the Discord server. Link is in my bio. I would love to talk to you about Duel Commander and help you build your first deck. That being said, again, I'm Kroxa. You can find all my links in my bio of my YouTube or in the little description box down there. Be sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. See ya, Yarglings.